Hello everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Bulletin. Today, we're diving into a revelation that has sent shockwaves through the entire fandom. A stunning announcement from Yulong and Mei Mei that no one, not even their closest followers, ever saw coming. After months of speculation, silence, whirling rumors, the two stars have finally stepped forward to reveal a jaw-dropping pregnancy update that is shaking the industry to its core. What led to this moment? Why now? How will this explosive news change everything for both of them? Stay with us, because we're uncovering the full story, right now. For weeks, the entertainment industry had been drowning in speculation. Every whisper, every blurred paparazzi photo, every unexplained absence only added fuel to a growing fire. Something was happening between Yulong and Mei Mei, something neither of them was willing to address publicly. Their sudden silence terrified fans who had followed their every interaction. Every shared glance, every behind-the-scenes moment filled with subtle warmth. But no one, absolutely no one, was prepared for the truth they were about to reveal. The shocking announcement came at 11:47 p.m. on a rainy Thursday night. Without warning, Yulong posted a black and white video on his social media account, silent at first, grainy, dimly lit, almost trembling as if recorded in emotional chaos. Fans froze instantly. Notifications exploded across the continent. Comments multiplied by the thousands every minute. Then, slowly, the video faded into clarity. Yulong appeared on screen, wearing a plain hoodie, eyes red as if he had not slept in days. His expression was heavy, conflicted, but determined, the look of a man about to reveal something he could no longer protect. But what stopped the world entirely was the figure sitting beside him. Mei Mei. Her face was pale, her hands intertwined with his, her lips trembling as she tried to hold herself together. Her hair was tied back, her makeup minimal, as though she had been crying for hours before recording the video. Her vulnerability radiated through the screen, piercing the hearts of millions instantly. Then, Yulong spoke. "We didn't plan to say this tonight," he began, voice low and raw. "But things have gotten out of control. Rumors are spreading everywhere. And the truth, our truth, is being twisted into something ugly." Mei Mei inhaled shakily, gripping his hand tighter. Her voice cracked slightly as she added, "We wanted to protect this. We wanted to keep it private, but we can't hide anymore." The two exchanged a glance. In that moment, the entire fandom held its breath. Yulong reached forward, pressing something on the table, and the screen zoomed out just a little, revealing an ultrasound image placed between them. The internet erupted. Within seconds, millions of fans screamed, cried, gasped, or reloaded their screens repeatedly in disbelief. Hashtags exploded across every platform, servers crashed, and media outlets scrambled to rewrite headlines faster than they could publish them. Yulong and Mei Mei were expecting a baby. Frenzy was only beginning. Mei Mei wiped a tear, her voice fragile but determined. "Before anyone says anything, before the stories twist even further, we need to tell you everything." The tone shifted dramatically. This was not the joyful pregnancy announcement fans had imagined. There was no bright backdrop, no gentle music, no romantic gesture. Instead, the room felt heavy, almost suffocating, filled with the weight of secrets that had crushed them for months. Yulong swallowed hard, his jaw tightening. This wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't simple. And it definitely wasn't planned. There were moments when we didn't know what to do, or who to trust. He paused. But what pushed us to speak tonight wasn't the pregnancy itself. Mei Mei nodded, looking down at the ultrasound as if afraid to meet the camera again. When she finally lifted her gaze, eyes glistened with fear and exhaustion. "It's because someone found out before we were ready." Her words dropped like thunder. Yulong clenched his fists, eyes flashing with anger. "Someone we trusted tried to use this against us. Someone close. Someone who's been leaking information, twisting the truth, threatening us. They said if we didn't comply," Mei Mei whispered, voice breaking, "they would expose everything on their own terms. Even things that aren't true." Fans watching at home felt their hearts sink. This wasn't just a personal revelation. It was an emergency. A crisis. A confession soaked in fear. Long exhaled sharply, his voice trembling with restrained rage. "So we're choosing to speak first. To protect Mei Mei. To protect our child." and to take back the truth before someone else destroys it. The intensity of his words was palpable. Protective. Ferocious. A side of him no one had ever seen. Mei Mei placed a hand over her stomach. Her expression softening for the first time. We didn't want to tell the world like this. We wanted to wait. We wanted to be ready. We're out of time. A gust of wind slammed against the window behind them. The room trembled. Even the storm outside seemed to sense the chaos erupting inside. Then came the moment that silenced millions. We almost lost the baby, Mei Mei admitted. Tears spilling freely now. Twice. Yu Long's face contorted with pain. His hand tightening around hers protectively. He was hospitalized. Twice. And we kept it hidden because the stress, the lies, the pressure were too much. We were terrified that if anyone found out, things would get worse. They did, she whispered. And suddenly, the fandom understood the weight behind their pale faces. Their trembling voices. Their late-night confession. This pregnancy wasn't just emotional. It was dangerous. And now, exposed. Mei Mei glanced at Yu Long with a heartbreaking mixture of love and fear. We're telling you this not for sympathy, not for drama, but because we need you to hear the truth before anyone else twists it. Yu Long nodded. There is more. We need you to listen carefully. What we're about to tell you will change everything. Take a deep breath. Preparing himself for the storm ahead. Mei Mei braced herself. Fingers trembling around his. And millions leaned closer to their screens. Breath caught in their throats. Because the next words they were about to reveal. Take the fandom. Far beyond anything they had ever imagined. For a moment, the room and the video fell painfully silent. Only the muffled sound of rain tapping the windows mixed with the sound of Yu Long's unsteady breathing. His fingers intertwined with Yang Mei Mei's tightened. Out of comfort this time. But out of fear. Fear of what he was about to reveal. Fear of the consequences. Fear of the monster waiting in the shadows of their past months. Yu Long looked straight into the camera. Eyes burning with a mix of rage and helplessness. This wasn't just a leak. It wasn't just a threat. Someone has been watching us. He swallowed hard. For months. Yang Mei Mei closed her eyes. Tears slipping silently down her cheeks. We found out too late. Way too late. Long pushed a trembling hand through his hair as the tension in his voice built like a volcano waiting to erupt. The first time we suspected something was wrong was when Mei Mei's medical records were accessed by someone outside the hospital. Someone who had no right to know. Who knew, before we even had the courage to accept it ourselves. Fans watching across Asia felt a chill run down their spines. Mei Mei wiped her face with the back of her hand. Sent us messages. Anonymous. Cruel. Invasive. They described details only someone watching us closely would know. They told me exactly when I collapsed for the first time due to stress. They told him what hospital I was taken to. Before he even arrived. Her voice trembled violently. They even sent a photo of me lying unconscious on the stretcher. Yu Long's jaw clenched so hard the muscle twitched. That was the moment I realized this wasn't a rumor mill. This wasn't a crazed fan. This was targeted. Personal. Dangerous. Closer to the camera. Voice lower, rougher. The person behind this is someone inside the industry. Yang Mei Mei nodded weakly. Someone who hates seeing us together. Someone who stands to lose everything if our relationship continues, or if the baby survives. Thunder crashed loud enough that both of them flinched. Yu Long continued, voice now razor sharp. Don't say their name yet. Not until we have proof that can't be twisted or destroyed. But we know who they are. And they know we know. That revelation alone was explosive. But it was nothing compared to what came next. Yu Long inhaled shakily. 2 weeks ago. Mei Mei and I had a fight. Talk about it, the memory. It was the worst night of our lives. Not because we were angry at each other, but because someone sent me an edited video. One that made it look like she was meeting with another man in secret. Mei Mei shook her head. Eyes swelling with hurt. It was fake. Completely fake. And yet, he believed it. Stupid, Yu Long said. Voice cracking under the weight of guilt. I was exhausted. Scared. I let their lies get in my head. I confronted her. I yelled. She cried. And that stress. He looked down at the ultrasound picture between them. That stress nearly cost us everything. Mei Mei clutched her stomach. memory rushing back like a nightmare. That night was the second time I collapsed. The doctors said if my body went through that again, the baby wouldn't survive. Fans watching from all corners of Asia gasped, many breaking into tears. Yulong took her hand again, it as if it were the only thing anchoring him to the earth. I swore that night I would never doubt her again. And I swore to protect her, no matter the cost. Mei Mei finally looked up, voice trembling but steady. That's why we're speaking today. Because the threats escalated. Because yesterday, they contacted us directly. Yulong nodded grimly. They told us the world would know by midnight. They threatened to leak everything, her medical records, our messages, my desperate calls for help, her pregnancy, even the hospital we visited. They want to destroy our lives, she whispered. Careers. Our baby. And we won't let them. Long's voice sharpened into steel. We're going to fight this. We're going to take legal action. We will expose the person behind all of this when the time comes. Mei Mei nodded. We are terrified. But we choose truth. We choose to protect our child. Choose each other. The tension in the video eased for the briefest moment as Yulong reached for her, gently brushing away her tears. She leaned into his touch, exhausted but safe in the one place she still trusted. And then she said the words that would break the internet completely. Baby was never the scandal. Our baby is our miracle. Yulong's lips pressed against her knuckles. We weren't ready to share this. But now, the world knows. And we're not ashamed. We're not hiding. And to the person watching this, Mei Mei added, voice suddenly steady with a sharp, brave edge. Don't break us. You made us stronger. The camera zoomed out slightly. Yulong placed his hand protectively over her stomach. We will face everything together, he said softly. As a family. Millions watched in silence. Millions cried. Millions fell into shock, or confusion. An overwhelming emotion. Then, something unexpected happened. Mei Mei glanced at the phone beside her. A new notification flashed on the screen. She froze. Yulong followed her gaze. His face went pale. A message from an unknown number. If you think this ends here, you're wrong. Round 2 begins now. The video ended abruptly. The fandom screamed. Like that, the most shocking pregnancy reveal in Asian entertainment history was only the beginning of a far darker war. As the final seconds of the video faded to black, millions were left staring at their screens in stunned silence. What began as a whispered rumor had erupted into one of the most emotional, chaotic, and powerful revelations the fandom had ever witnessed. Yulong and Yang Mei Mei did not just announce a pregnancy, they exposed a hidden war. A betrayal buried deep within the industry. Love fighting desperately to survive under crushing pressure. Their courage to speak out, to stand together, protect the fragile life growing between them became the moment that changed everything. Now, as the world waits for the next twist, one thing remains clear, this story is far from over. A darker force is still moving in the shadows, preparing its next strike. But for the first time, Long and Yang Mei Mei are not running, not hiding, they are standing strong, united, and unafraid. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. Thank you for watching every twist, every tear, every shocking moment with us. Your support, your curiosity, and your presence mean more than words can express. Always, thank you for being a part of Behind the Bulletin. Stay tuned for more revelations, more truth, more unforgettable stories. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and stay with us.